Greetings and welcome to our daily Devo for Tuesday, the 23rd of May today. We are in Capernaum or Capernaum, depending on how you like to say it, or you've heard said, had it named before, Capernaum. Mark chapter 2, verses 1 through 12 is the text. The verse 10 from that passage is quoted, but I want you to, Jesus is speaking, but I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins. Of course, before he leaves, he'll tell his disciples, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. That's put those two thoughts together. He has all authority and he can forgive sins. The people of Capernaum knew Jesus as a Bible teacher, but this story from Mark 2 shows that he was much more. If we listen, we can hear the friends of the paralyzed man sighing. They had carried their disabled friend to the family compound where Jesus was staying, but saw no easy way to get inside. Houses in the Sea of Galilee basin looked different from those built in other places around the Promised Land. Such first-century dwellings are called insulae houses, I-N-S-U-L-A-E, sounds Latin. They were built to accommodate extended families and were designed with a large open-air courtyard called an insula, Latin for island, surrounded by smaller roofed rooms, each with a single doorway that opened onto the courtyard. We can trace this floor plan in the tangled ancient foundations at the heart of Capernaum. In this story, Jesus was in one of the side rooms. A sea of people filled the courtyard and prevented the man's friends from getting him anywhere near the one they knew could help. The exceptional number of people gathered here had to do with the high-stakes meeting underway in the crowded compound. A delegation of teachers had come from Jerusalem to investigate a rogue Bible teacher named Jesus. Within first-century Judaism, the authority to teach was granted by someone who already had that authorization. The schools in Jerusalem did the credentialing, and Jesus wasn't one of their graduates. He was speaking out of turn, and they had come to stop him. If this were any other story, we might expect the friends to leave and try again another day. We might expect Jesus to capitulate to the Jerusalem authorities. But this is no ordinary story. Pieces of the roof began falling into the middle of the meeting. Then a few beams of light penetrated. Then a mat swung back and forth as it was lowered into the room on ropes. Undeterred by the crowded courtyard, the roof, or the importance of the meeting, the four friends had solved the access problem. That's when Jesus took things to a whole different level and addressed a problem that others did not see. Son, your sins are forgiven. That's verse 5 of Mark 2. The religious authorities huffed. No human authority, even those credentialed by Jerusalem, would dare stand in the place of God and offer forgiveness for sin. Could Jesus forgive sin? Yes. And what he said and did next proves it. But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins. So he said to the man, I tell you, get up, take your mat, and go home. Verses 10 and 11. Then those standing closest to the door gasped as the crowd slowly parted, and the man they saw being carried to the roof on a mat walked out with his mat in hand. Love it. We live in a noisy world filled with voices making promises and claiming the authority to back them up. Use this diet plan and lose weight, wear this shoe and be a better athlete. But who has the authority to make a promise they can keep every time? Jesus. His is the voice I want to hear. We talked something along these lines in our sermon on Sunday about the purpose of worship and why worship. Do we value worship because we want to focus on the one who is the way, the truth, and the light versus this world that is nothing but a lie, a deception. Here's the questions we ask. What other popular teachers compete with Jesus for your attention? I hear people name individuals all the time. Oh, that's who I listen to. That's who I follow. It's not bad to admire. It's not bad to listen, but to have just one, only Jesus should be the one. Second question, how can you be certain that you regard the teaching of Jesus as unique and authoritative? We're living in a world right now that's prone to follow human beings. We like what they say. We like how they look. We like how they do what they do. We think they have the right answers. And instead of going to Jesus and asking, what would you have me do? How would you do this? Not what would Jesus do, but also adding, how would Jesus do it? And instead, we're listening to movie stars. We're listening to self-made experts on certain subjects. We're listening to politicians. How many popular teachers compete with Jesus to get your attention? Here's the prayer for today. Lord, there are I would add so many voices offering me advice and direction. It's easy for me to place them on an equal level with the revelation you offer in your word and through the words of Jesus. Please use this moment to distinguish your voice from any competitors. Give me ears to hear, Lord. Give me ears to hear what you would say to me. Blessings to you today.